And we are just 8 days from the last time you can vote in the most important election of our lives. It is Judgment Day. It is there. The finish line is close. And I'm telling you, stay angry. I know it's time. Sometimes you get tired from this. I do too. That's why President Obama over the weekend, when he's giving his great speeches, just destroying Trump, he gave all the policy reasons to defeat Trump, which are very important. But then he added something else. He said, with Biden and Kamala Harris running the country, he says, it won't be so exhausting. We're not going to worry about every day when they tweet ridiculous things. They're not going to do that. They're going to be normal president and vice president, as opposed to Trump, who literally last week retweeted that the Navy SEALs did not kill Osama bin Laden, but they killed a body double, just smearing the valiantry of the members of the military who killed bin Laden. But now Donald Trump's in his closing argument of his campaign. He's out on the trail today. He was there all weekend, running around. And what is it now? His new thing is to spread and infect as many people with COVID-19, and he doesn't even care who gets it or who dies, even if it's his own base. And now Donald Trump's new spin is that it's not a real threat, the virus, it's media hype. It's all about the media hyping it. Here's the reality. Donald Trump took the summer off from his rallies, being responsible, to be honest. In the summer, we had a massive spike. He did not go out on the campaign trail. September 8th, he began going back out, having his campaign rallies over the advice of experts. How many cases we have then of COVID-19? On average, September 8th, about 36,000. What do we have now? On average, in the last week, 70,000 cases. That's right. And there's a direct line between Donald Trump's rallies and this massive spike in cases. Some of it, as USA Today actually quantified through studies, cities where Trump went to have shown spikes in COVID cases. So he is spreading it literally. Secondly, if you're a Trump supporter and you're watching your beloved Trump and he's not wearing a mask and none of the other Trump supporters are wearing masks or social distancing, why would you? So Trump is literally getting people sick at his rallies and also signaling to his supporters, don't wear a mask, don't social distance, don't care about others, be as selfish as I am. And it's helping spread this virus horribly. But now Donald Trump over the weekend, and I want to get this correct, so let me read the exact thing. North Carolina, and he said this on Friday as well, and he tweeted it today, he's blaming the media for the uptick in coverage of the coronavirus. Here's what he said. Turn on television, right? COVID, 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 COVID. Yes, he said COVID 6 times. COVID, 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 COVID. Then he added irresponsibly, by the way, on November 4th, which is the day after the election, quote, you won't hear about it anymore. What is he telling his supporters? This is not a serious virus. It's the media spinning it. The media is covering it. He doesn't want to talk about the facts. What happened on Saturday? We had 83,000 new cases of corona. That's the highest in the history of our entire fight against COVID. 83,000. Friday and Saturday, over 80,000 both times. And what did we learn yesterday? That Mike Pence, the VP, 5 of his aides, including his chief of staff, all tested positive for COVID. And they were trying to hide that from the public, but we found it out. Now it's been confirmed. So Trump's like, oh, why are they reporting on this? This is to hurt me. No, it's to inform people of how the virus is spreading and upticking around the country. But Donald Trump wasn't done. This morning he tweeted out 2 tweets, again, lying to his base that COVID is not serious. It's a media hype creation. He tweeted the fake news media is writing COVID, 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 all the way to the election, losers. Then he added, and this is just stunning, about COVID, quote, a fake news media conspiracy. A November 4th topic will totally change. He's telling his base, don't be fearful of COVID. He's telling them, don't fear the Reaper. That's what he's literally saying, don't fear the Reaper. Here's the reality. November 4th, this is not going to leave the media. In fact, sadly and tragically for our country, because of the failings of Donald Trump, it's going to get worse. It's going to get horrifically worse. The head of the CDC, who Trump appointed months ago, said, and I quote, because of COVID, the worst fall ever, this fall, from a public health perspective, we've ever had. So for months, he's been warned that this fall will be the worst ever. And he didn't care. Did he do anything in the summer to get ready for this? No, of course not. And what Trump has done now, folks, is he understands he failed at COVID. So he's turning. Now he's thinking, what can I do? Well, what you could do now is just attack the media for your own failures, because his base, sadly enough, will buy it. And they're a dwindling base, literally, because of Trump. They're dwindling in numbers. So he's spewing lie after lie because Donald Trump has surrendered to COVID. He has surrendered. In fact, Mark Meadows, his chief of staff, was on CNN Sunday morning where he said point blank, we're not going to control the pandemic. And when Jake Tapper said to him, why not? Meadows falsely equated COVID with the flu, like Trump has, saying, because it's a contagious virus just like the flu. He has surrendered. Donald Trump has surrendered. Think about this. No American president has ever surrendered to a deadly foe like this. This would be like 8 months into World War II, FDR going, you know what? We've had enough with the Nazis. They're kind of tough. We're going to just give up. Or after 9/11, George W. Bush in May saying, you know what? May of 2002, we're not going to fight Al-Qaeda anymore. It's been 8 months. We gave it a shot. We can't do it. We're going to give in and let them kill us. Let them slaughter us at the tune of about 1,000 a day. Imagine that. You know, Joe Biden is 100% correct. He slammed Donald Trump for surrendering. As Biden had said point blank, he's waving the white flag of defeat. The white flag of defeat. That's what Trump is doing. He's waving the white flag. He has failed, and now he's surrendering. Who would want a president for 4 more years? Anytime something is difficult or life-threatening, he gives up. He surrenders. Trump has never had to work hard for anything a day in his life. He was born into wealth. Everything he's wanted, he's gotten. Or he's paid hush money to quiet those after he's got what he wanted. We know what we're talking about. So here's where we are. We have Donald Trump now out there saying it's a media hype thing. This is not the first time he said that. In February 28th, before any American died from COVID, at the same rally where he infamously called the virus the Democrats' new hoax, he also there said that the media is in hysteria mode. That was his quote, hysteria mode. And what was the media in hysteria mode over? They were saying a deadly virus is coming and you're not taking it seriously. At the time, not one American life had been lost. Flash forward, 225,000 plus American lives have been lost. And Trump is back to the same thing, blaming the media for his own failings. This is remarkable. You know, Donald Trump can lie all he wants. Sadly enough for our nation, we are seeing hospitalizations go up. And even his buddy, like Texas Governor Greg Abbott, red state governor, yesterday announced plans to make essentially auxiliary hospitals in the El Paso area because the hospital beds are filled up. They're living in the real world. In Utah, a very red state, they are now on the verge of rationing care because they're running out of hospital beds and ICU units. So Trump can lie all he wants. Even Republicans are taking this seriously. Not Trumpers, but Republicans who care about their people, who care about what's going on. Here's very concerning for all of us. It's not going to end election day. Tragically, the study, University of Washington, warns us that we might see between 415,000 and 600 deaths between now and January 1st altogether. That means another 200 to maybe 300,000 Americans will die between now and January 1st. As the head of the University of Washington, Dr. Christopher Murray said, we're going to have a very deadly December ahead of us in terms of a toll of coronavirus. This is not going away the day after election. In fact, it's going to get worse. It's going to be a dark winter with Trump there or not. Sadly for us, if Trump were here for 4 more years, I can't even think what the death toll would be because, again, Obama and Biden had 2 pandemics, one in the first term, a second one in the second term. Trump has failed at this horribly. Who would want to trust him for a second term? It's unbelievable. You know, it's no longer a situation where we can wonder, does Trump know how lethal this virus is? We all know he does because on February 7th, he told Bob Woodward in that private conversation that the coronavirus is 5 times more lethal than the most strenuous flu. That was his words. It's 5 times more lethal than the most strenuous flu. But he went out there and he lied over and over. And now he's doing it again. Nonstop lying, and Americans are dying. And so is his base. And he doesn't care because he wants the optics of a large crowd cheering him because he needs that. And he will sacrifice you and your family. You know, there were over 225,000 American lives lost. That means there's over 200,000 families mourning a beloved loved one. A grandmother, a grandfather, a mother, a father, a child. Trump doesn't care. This is the stakes before this election. We have 8 days to rectify this, to defeat Donald Trump and to get rid of Trumpism as much as we can going forward. Elect a president and a vice president who believes in science, whose goal will be saving lives over having the optics of a crowd cheering them so their ego and their insecurity can be met. It's up to us. 8 days, my friends. Tonight's show, of course, live 6 to 9 p.m. Got a great lineup. Martina Navratilova, the tennis legend, is going to join us, talk about how Donald Trump's failed the LGBTQ community. We've got Michael Steele, Congressman Harley Rhoda, and our friend Rick Unger joining us. It's full team coverage here as we close the 8 days of this campaign. Live 6 to 9 p.m., channel 127 on SiriusXM. Thanks for tuning in to the preview of tonight's Dino Bidala Show.